Now back to last night's Democratic debate. The economy, a top issue for voters, certainly. The candidates had an opportunity to highlight their policies on low wages, on small business growth in America. Here's what Hillary had to say last night.
When I think about capitalism, I think about all the small businesses that were started because we have the opportunity and the freedom in our country for people to do that and to make a good living for themselves and their families. And I don't think we should confuse what we have to do every so often in America, which is save capitalism from itself.
Joining us right now are small business owners Ramon Ray and Butch Shamali. Gentlemen, good to see you. Thanks for joining the conversation.
Morning,
that was about it when it comes to small business in terms of the conversation last night. But Hillary did go on to say that big business is going to pay higher taxes and their fair share. What was your take on the debate?
My take on the debate seemed like marijuana is more important than small business. Where was the incentives for us to grow? Where was her stand on Obamacare? Where was the stand on reducing something so we can grow our business and become something?
Is that the biggest pressure you face right now, Obamacare?
It's murder. It's murder. It's squeezing us. Every little bit, they take a little bit out every day, different rules and the expense. It's terrible.
What about you, Ramon?
Yeah, and I think that what I heard so much was the attack on the 1%. That really got me. 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. And I think the only way to get to 1% is being an entrepreneur.
Right, you're not even at 1%
Yes,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah, but you're on your way.
We want to aspire to be
the aspirational part of it.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with being that. So when I hear that demonization, I talk to my kids, my son, who's an entrepreneur. What is he going to think? Am I bad for wanting to be in the 1%?
I'm so glad you said that. You're absolutely right.
Butch, tell us what it's like when you need to access capital. You have to work with the banks.
That's a great
You
question.
work with local banks. You live out in Long Island. You work with local banks, the big financial supermarkets that they talked about last night. What is it like?
It's difficult. We have good credit, so it's not that terrible for me. But if you're a smaller business, it's nearly impossible to get a bank loan. The paperwork and the intensity to get it and the time factors is like nothing easy. You can't go to the bank and say, I need a little line of credit. Just don't
and
do
this
it.
is why that they're having the new credit services, on deck and et cetera, who making it easier for small businesses.
Well, to make it easier, but your interest rates are absolutely
for sure.
insane.
I'm just saying this is why
average loan is at 4%, 3%. This is at 12%.
For sure.
Ridiculous.
Hey, Ramon, we talked about the negative and what you were hearing last night, and I love that Bernie Sanders, by the way, he's not a capitalist, he's anti-capitalism, but then as a toss out to you guys, he's like, well, I think everybody's in agreement. I'm not doing my Bernie Sanders
it's close
imitation.
enough.
We're a great entrepreneurial nation. We've got to encourage that.
Right.
So what would they need to say that you would think that they're encouraging that? Not just the Democrats, but the Republicans.
Sure. I think there's two things. I think, one, there needs to be less of a thing of taking away from the 1% and more of an aspect of how can we bring people up. Instead of tearing people down, what can we do to encourage and foster people to be more like Butch and go up? I think point two is just to stop demonizing. I think it's cool and sounds sexy to demonize and say if you're rich it's bad, but it's not.
I totally agree. I mean, I think one of the most important things or sort of talents that anybody brings to the White House in the next presidency is an ability to bring us together.
Yeah.
Right,
but it's so divisive.
Reduce the size of
But
government.
two elections,
too big.
the last two elections were won by that exact strategy. Okay, so if it's gotten somebody in the White House two times.
But Obama did the exact opposite. He was as divisive as they come.
No, I'm saying his strategy was to go after the 1%.
Okay, yeah.
So why would they not want to continue on that path?
They're tired of hearing it.
And in fairness, our country is split 50-50, more or less, Democratic, Republican. So that's nothing we can stop, I don't think. But the key is still the demonization that has to end, because I think entrepreneurs you'll find are definitely fiscally conservative. That's most of the studies show Inc. or Smart Hustle Magazine, et cetera. Most are fiscally conservative.
But the way government is now, you'll never get there.
Absolutely.
Was there somebody on stage you want to vote for after that debate?
Donald Trump.
How about you, Ramon?
If I had to pick someone on the stage, it would not be Bernie Sanders. Absolutely not. For sure not.
All right, we'll leave it there. Ramon Ray, Butch Shamali, good to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.